In application 3, I want you to work on example 15.2 in the Jaggia textbook. In my textbook, that's on page 590. Again, example 15.2. And I want you to do this in 2 stages. Stage 1 actually is looking at the input process output model. Again, we're trying to build models here for our business analytics. And stage 2, I want you to actually develop the Excel spreadsheet. However, I think it's going to make more sense to you to develop the spreadsheet first and then go back to stage 1 where we're looking at inputs, processes, and outputs, because I don't think you've done that as much in the past. So what I want you to do is go to figure 15.4 in your textbook for stage 2. And 15.4, figure 15.4 on page 591 has everything laid out here for you. I've already typed it in. I want to go through it real quick so you can see it. For some formatting issues, retirement calculator using their spreadsheet, if you highlight columns A through G by doing a left click and drag, you can center and merge. You can increase the font. You can bold it if you want. We also know that to make this look better, we can't see all of this. If you double left click, just a space between A and B, it automatically opens up the cells for you. Salary is really a dollar amount. These are all percentages. And then we get to the equations. In year 1, the salary comes directly from the starting salary. Okay. The contribution from Claire is her salary times 10%. All right, salary times the savings rate of 10%. Note that whenever you put in this savings rate, since we're going to extend these columns, you need to lock down the cell, and you lock down that cell by putting a $ in front of the 5 in this case, because it's going to stay in column B. However, your textbook locks down the column as well. So this is the row, and this is the column. Company contribution, again, we should open this up. Company match is the salary times the company match. Again, locking it down. The principal is the amount of money that Claire contributes and the amount that the company contributes. The return rate is the principal that Claire is saving that year times the anticipated return rate. Again, lock it down. The ending balance in this case is the principal plus any return that Claire gets that year. Okay, go ahead and open that all the way up. The next thing that you need to do is for year 2, the salary has to increase, right? Claire gets a 3% increase each year. So if you take the salary from year 1 and multiply it times 1 plus the increase in salary and lock it down, that shows you what Claire's salary is going to be in year 2. Principal for year 2 is a function of the ending balance from the year before plus the contribution that year from Claire and the company's match that year from Claire. Okay, so everything is set here. What we want to do is we want to look at this for 3 years time period. In Excel, if you highlight your series, right, it will automatically think that, you know, what we're doing here is an increase each year. So if I left click and drag, that gets me up to 10 years. If I double left click on this box, because I have locked things down, it will take and put in here for me all of the formulas that I need for the entire year, 10-year period. Okay. Again, we'll click this, and you should see after a 10-year period of time, Claire should have about $110,000 or so in her account. That's all you need to do for stage 2. Now let's look at stage 1. Stage 1 really is trying to take all of our inputs, our processes, to get to our outputs. The textbook, figure 15.3, it puts it in a different structure for you, okay? And what I want you to do is think about this input processes and outputs. They have all of the components in figure 15.3, but I want us to think about this in a more linear fashion. The output that we're really trying to get at, the final output, is the amount of money that Claire has at the end of 10 years, right? And to get us there, we have ending balances each year. That getting to that ending balances, we have all of these different processes that go in between. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I have the starting salary times 10%, that's Claire's contribution. That is part of the principal for the year. The other part of the principal for the year is Claire's salary times the company match of 4%. Okay? Ending balance for year one is the principal that Claire gets and the return she gets on her return rate. Again, all of that's right here. See how the model goes this direction? This is year one. This is what we have just put together in this set of inputs, processes, and outputs. However, we're doing this for 10 years. So what I need you to do to finish off this stage one is I need you to take this concept here, and again, the way that you can put these boxes in to Excel, if you click on Insert, Illustrations, Shapes, you will see ovals. You can draw them where you want to. When you draw it in, you'll get a pop-up that says what's the shape fill that you want. I don't want a fill. You can put a fill in there if you want, whatever color you want. And then once you have done that, if you start to type, like output, it's like, oh, nothing's happening. But it really is. But the problem is the default letters here, the default letter really is white. So if you come up here and click on a color that you like, you can type in there whatever you want. All right? So that gets you started here. Once you make one of these, you can Control-C and copy, or you can right-click and copy, and then you can either Control-V, or you can go up to Paste, and it will paste it in there for you. All right? Once you get it in here, you can also go up here to the alignment, put in what you want. If there's too much space in here, like year one final output, it will go ahead and loop over for you. However, you can left click on this and change the shape. Next, these arrows that I'm putting in here, if you again go to Insert, Illustrations, Shapes, you can put in arrows. Once the arrow's in there, you can go to Shape Outline and change the color of it to whatever you want. Finally, you'll see that I have put in these percentages or numbers, or text is really the case. You can go to Insert, Illustrations, Shapes, Insert Text, left click, drag a box, put what you want, and then you can use this little rotate button to move it around. And you can also right click, format the shape, and you can get rid of the line that's around the outside of it. Okay? This is how you're going to make this. And then the part where it's actually going to start becoming yours to figure out is what happens for year two. Okay? And in year two, a few things happen. Salary goes up because we start with our salary. and we increase it by 3%. The principal for year one, or year two rather, you have to have year one principal feeding into it. And your job now is to take this relative type shape and add all of the other things into it. And I think that if you just go through year three, okay, which means that you need to put all of the stuff for year two and all of the stuff for year three, you will have an inputs, processes, and output model that you would be able to show to the boss of how you calculated all of this, okay? Again, all the information that's going on to stage one is how you would explain it to the boss with input, process, output, figures. Stage two is the way you as the analyst would be able to go in and do the actual calculations. All right, I hope that makes sense to you. Whenever you turn it in, what I want to see from you is a stage one that has year 1, 2, and 3 on it. And I need to see stage 2, which has all of your formulas to be able to get you there. All right? Let me know if you have any questions.